Hello and welcome back to my garage here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So here are some more cars that I have had in my backlog, which I have slogged through to get cleaned up and out of here. You may remember seeing this Lamborghini from the last time. This is the white one. They were both white. The other one I finished in black and this one I finished in white. I also, if I can remember how to crouch, I also chromed the wheels, and I think it looks really sharp. This car is very, very nice. I have one in my collection, but I'm very fond of it. This one, however, is a little bit less valuable than the other one. I'm not really sure why. The other one sold for about 250 grand. This is about 180 grand. And then this over here is the Mayan M8, yeah, which is a vanilla game car. And it's about 150 grand, it looks like. It came in kind of an olive drab color. I went through the liveries and it has this camouflage scheme, so I went ahead and did it this way. I don't know if I like it, but this is something I did just because I hadn't really worked on this car before. It's one of the vanilla in-game cars, and I did chrome the rims on this one as well, so I'm not really sure if this scheme and the rims and everything work, but I'm going with it. And this one is... Plus I could have put the supercharged V8 in it, which I thought about doing, but toward the end I just wanted to get the car done. And this one is going to be $158,000. And then over here, this is the Dodge Ram 3500. And I didn't have to chrome the rims because they come that way already. This thing looks bigger than the Ford F350. I'm going to have to try to arrange to have one of these next to the F350. But this one, of course, is all finished again. It has the... it's a Hemi engine. And it's a beast, an absolute monster. But this one goes for $300,000 and change. It's like $309,000. Yeah, $309,000 for that car, or that truck, I guess you would say. And that brings us to these RX-7s. I had two of these. I had two of these in my storage, and these are kind of an odd case because they're both 100% built out the same way. This one actually came this color. When I cleaned it up, it was this color, and I decided to go ahead and stick with it rather than go back to the factory black. And this one is like $127,000. Yeah. And this other one, which is also the factory color, this sort of light tan. This one is $85,000. $85,000. It's gotten even cheaper than the other one. I don't understand. So $85,062 for this car. Makes no sense to me. This one has... The only difference between these two, they're both built out exactly the same way. 407 horsepower on that engine. 407 horsepower on this one. They're both 100% complete. This one is slightly customized from the factory, and this one is like essentially factory... This one is essentially factory fresh. The only difference is the mileage. This one has 136,000 miles. The other one has something like 99,000 miles. So that one has 37,000 miles more on it than that one. And it translates to... God. It translates to more than $50,000 difference. It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. But either way, get these out of here. Okay, so we are still looking for the Mercedes SLS. And so we're going to go see if we can find one of them. There was a new mod loaded to the workshop. Chevy Colorado, I think it was. which is a pickup truck, a Chevy pickup. So possibly we might find one of those. Either one would be good at this point. Okay, that looks like an F-150 there. Yep, I think I even may still have one of those in my parking. That's the Dodge SRT. That is a Skyline, and that is a Skyline. This is the police one, or no, pace car. I'm sorry, there's a police version of this. And this is the pace car. I'm not really into doing race cars, though. Is this also a pace car? Drag car, okay. And this is the Dodge SRT10. Might go ahead and pick that up. Or actually, I almost certainly will pick it up. Let's see what else is here. Looks like another Diablo over there. Yep. Good God, another one. 3 of these Skylines in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and buy this car. I actually have, I think, 2 of these in my storage. So this is as good a time as any to get them out. And I put it in the parking. I didn't mean to do that either. Arrgh. Okay, so now we need to figure out what floor it went. Because I have been working on these, clearing out the backlog, I have a bunch of empty spaces. And there's another Ram 3500. I knew I had another one. And a Ford F-350. I should pull those out and compare them. I have 2 of them. I did one. I guess I bought 3 of them. There's one of the SRTs. That one might be done though. No. Okay, good. And I should have paid attention to what floor that was on. Okay, this is where it was. Where'd the other one go? I got like 2 of these Hellcats in here. Or maybe even 3 of them. See, there's another XLT. That's why I didn't buy that other one. That's the one that I kept. Actually, I think everything on this floor is done. Except for maybe that Porsche 911. Or no, this floor has everything on this floor is finished. So it must have, there it is. It must have ended up here. There we go. Because I'm going to try really hard to not put anything else in the parking. I mean, anything that I buy either comes to the garage directly. Well, it comes to the garage directly, basically. V10B, I forgot that. I don't remember which one it uses. Okay, it just wants the generic air filter. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm getting all of the parts that are attached to the body of the vehicle, and I'm getting 2 of each of everything. A bunch of clips. And this is one of the only air filter boxes that uses clip B instead of clip A. Usually you can tell because clip A is for air filters, A for air. This one doesn't do that. This one has a lot of body part. This one actually had a lot of body parts. No interior whatsoever. What is that, like a subwoofer? Okay, that's all of that stuff now. Gotta sort. I think I'm gonna try to repair a bunch of these body parts. Whoops. Ah, I sold one. Didn't mean to. I wonder if it... No, it's not enough. There's only like one headlight and no tail lights. You know what? It's just gonna. I think it's just gonna complicate things. Just flush all the junk and buy all new stuff. So all I have to do here is go through and buy 2 of everything. There, now we should be set. Let's put the interior back in, or in, because it didn't have one to begin with. Malta plates on it. Wonder how it ended up here. Okay, body 100%. This one has Iceland plates on it. Yeah, Iceland plates. I wonder. I imagine there's a business in the world of people shipping junked cars from different places to others in the hopes of selling them. Okay, this one is also 100%. This car is also red too, which means it's going to stay that color. Okay, we'll go ahead and clean them up now. I sent that to the wrong place. That's a good red too. Yeah, that's an excellent color. So what I like to do when I work on more than one vehicle at once is to take off everything that I know is going to be trash. In this case, the brakes. I could probably repair some of the calipers and cylinders, but I'm not going to. I take off the double wishbone suspension shock absorber, double wishbone shock, because that's always trash. You can never repair those. I will take off these shocks right here. And then I'll take a minute to flush all that stuff and replace it all so that I have the parts, you know, in my inventory. And I'll go ahead and do these things because I did buy them already. Now, ordinarily after I fix the body and fix the frame and the interior, I would paint it. But I think this time I'm going to paint them at the end. And I will buy the parts for both engines, but I'll probably only completely build out one of them here. because admittedly it gets a little repetitive. Because we're going to dismount these tires, and we're going to try to save as many of the rims as we can. And then we're going to go through and chrome all of them, which will take a few minutes. And then we'll buy all new tires and remount everything. These transmissions, I will try to repair them. That one I think was only 8%, so I probably won't be able to repair it. I always try to repair junker transmissions just so that I can sell them, because it's preferable to me to sell them for something, you know, better than scrap value. Scrap value is like 40 bucks, and if you can repair them, you can get anywhere from like $700 to $1,000 depending on what kind of transmission it is. And I mean, yes, I have a lot of money, but the reason I have a lot of money is because I, you know, don't just throw it away. And it helps too that selling cars that are fantastically valuable means you have quite a bit in the way of a cushion to work with when it comes to how much money you can spend on things. Okay, now it's time to pause for a moment and process this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and buy... I didn't take the shocks off that one car. The rear shocks, I meant. Go ahead and get those going. Two leaf spring rear ends. That will be quick. That will be fairly quick and easy to do. Okay, so the old double wishbone stuff can go away now. Any old exhaust pieces, fuel tanks, all that stuff needs to go away. That window, that thing. Okay, that takes us down to, let's see, 4 shock absorber Bs. Okay, and we will nuke all of the old gearbox stuff. This is 25, this is 6%. We probably won't even get both of those back. But at least I'll just go ahead and buy this stuff now. Won't need it for a little while, but it's better to get ahead of things. Make sure you always have what you need before you get on to that part. There, that's all the tires separated. That's 8 rims. I need to remember to buy the brakes. So we repaired both drive shafts, one transmission. Looks like about 6 of the rims. I wish they would add performance brakes. I mean, you know that's a thing that exists. Okay, so 2 cars worth of disc brakes, so that's 8 of these. And 8 of these. And then 4 of each disc. And then 8 pads. Okay, so so this one is worth, see, this is worth $11.50 repaired and $70 scrap. Gearbox V10B, let's go buy that before I forget. $3,500 for that, for each of those. Yeah, so we only lost 2 of the rims. Now, I believe these rims are all the same size. Yep, SRT10 22. And then the tires are all also the same size as 305 40 22. Almost $9,000 for 4 tires. Pretty sure I got the right size. I just bought race tires instead of sport tires, though, because the engines will be upgraded. 305 40 22, 305 40 22, so we're good. Okay, now let's have some fun in the paint shop. That's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And now we'll see if we screwed any of that up. I would pay for an expansion to have like 2 balancing machines and 2 tire, I would pay to have extra sets of both of these machines. Be able to mount and balance like 4 tires at once would be nice. that's all of them. I think there's only 3 that have gone through the balancer so far. Okay, let's get the rear taken apart now. So these are both going to be leaf spring rear ends, so they'll be fairly easy to do. We'll need to replace the bushings. Probably some of the U-bolts and stuff. Looks like there's only 1 tire left to balance. Once we get our stuff together for the rear end, though, we'll actually be able to mount the tires and everything. It's not like the coils, it's not like the rear suspension arm rear end. Or, actually, that's not true. I'm thinking of the cars that have an engine in the back, where the engine and transmission are in the rear, and you can't hang the tires when there's no engine in them. The other ones that have an axle, you can. And we'll be able to do that on the back ends of both of these once we get all these put together. And the leaf spring rear ends are really quick. It has fewer parts, and it goes together nice and fast. I almost find them preferable to the other one. Just for the sake of argument, let's see what we can fix. Okay, so I knew I would need 8 bushings. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 U-bolts. Looks like basically not quite one of the rear ends, 'cause both plates, 3 U-bolts, leaf springs. So it was 2 springs, 2 plates, 3 U-bolts, and a drive axle. What does that leave us needing? Solid. Not too bad. Ended up having to replace more of the leaf spring stuff. But the rest of the stuff isn't too bad. I think that was rear knuckle C. Or it might have been B. It is C. Okay, good. Excellent. Now we can really get to work. I like to put these bushings in right away, just so I don't forget. If you can actually put this one in from the backside. Kind of like to do that occasionally so that you can watch the nuts go onto the bolts. Yeah, that looks good like I thought it would. I think we were up there underneath the gas tank for a moment. Don't want to put the wheel on just yet. It's so big it occludes your view. It's so big that it blocks your view. Alright, that's nice. I like that. Yep. Okay, so let's yank off. We got a bunch of things to get rid of here. Basically, if I get out the hubs and the hub bearings, the tie rods and the sway bars, and then I can flush all that stuff. Because the hub bearings are going to be... The hub bearings are not repairable. The sway bars and the tie rods are not repairable. The rack might be. We'll give it a shot. The front axle knuckle covers might be. And that basically just leaves us the cross member and the suspension arms and a whole mess of bushings. It's going to be like 24 bushings because there's 12 of each of these in both of these. And this is just another case of where I like to get rid of the junk first. Just that way I can control what's in my inventory and I keep track of things without getting lost. Because all those bushings are not going to be repairable either. So we'll be throwing all of that away. So I'll get the tie rods. I think the sway bars were regular front sway bar. So 2 of them and 4 of those. And then 4 of these. Whoops, not 5. Go ahead and get 4 hub bearings. Okay, so the rest of this stuff might be repairable. We'll give it a shot. I saw one of those things fail. Another thing failed. Repaired both racks. That's nice. So we need 4 caps. I don't think the caps are repairable either. I probably should have just flushed those. I think there were 2 of the hubs. Yep, 2 of them. And 3 front axle knuckle covers. Because when I do, boy, that was the wrong place. When I do this, I firmly believe that it's best to have what you need ahead of time when you get started, rather than trying to find it later. Because I'm going to be doing a lot of that with the engine anyway. Because I've probably built 2 or 3 of these trucks over time, but it's not enough to remember automatically all the little bits. Even though a lot of the V10s have common parts like the oil pan and the oil filter, and I think there's like a V10 power steering pump. But there are some specific bits, particularly in the heads and the head covers, that I always have to look at again. Whoops. Because this is kind of the same engine that's in the Viper, but it has different heads. And I think it uses, I don't remember which coils it uses or what, but we'll see. So there's 6 per row. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, 24 bushings. And you can only buy 20 of any one thing at a time. So you gotta buy 20 and then 4. So let's see what we can recover here. And basically I just pound the enter key here. I saw something fail there. Doesn't look like we got a whole lot. Let's see. Front steering knuckle B times 2, 3 upper suspension arm. And there was a cross member, front suspension cross member. So we repaired more than I thought, it looks like. And we already have everything else that we need, so we can slap these together now pretty quickly. Oh, look at that. Fix that when I get in there. did everything else, but I didn't do the battery. And then once again, I recommend doing the bushings in the crossmember first before you proceed. Just easier to make sure you have them all in there, rather than trying to find something again that you've forgotten once everything else is in, and then you have to navigate through the forest of parts. I just find it easier that way. Everybody has their own way of doing things, but if I don't do things in a systematic kind of way, then I get all messed up. And actually, I kind of meant to do the other side first. This is actually an important thing I would point out. When you're assembling the front suspension, if you don't have the outer tie rod connected to the knuckle, it won't let you put the wheel on. And that's one defining thing that I encountered early on when I was first learning my way around the game. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you think you have everything there, but it's not giving you the option to mount the wheel, check and make sure that tie rod is in place. It's looking good even in primer. Just yank that engine out of there. Yeah, the other stuff is in there where it's supposed to be. So what are we at now value-wise? $109,000. I think this is the one that I just bought. Wasn't it about $38,000, something like that? I don't recall. I really should pay attention to these things. Okay, nice. And get the other side done. And basically these are two rolling chassis all done and ready to go. Oh dear. How did that happen? Boy, I don't even... Somehow I missed a whole wheel. I'm sure I had 8. I must have sold an extra rim by accident. Ordinarily, I would do something while I was waiting for this wheel to balance, but that wheel is the last thing I need at this point. I didn't replace that battery either. I don't know how I bought 8 tires, but not enough rims. Okay, so where are we with this one now? 109,710. I think that's the same. Yep, 109,710. They're identical. What do they have mileage-wise? 87,000? 101,000. So this one has like 14,000 more miles on it than that one. My favorite thing in the whole world is rocker arms. Right up there with camshaft caps. Okay, let's pause for a second and clear stuff out. We're going to need 20 spark plugs. Going to need 2 of these alternators. And we're going to need 2 of the I4B power steering pumps, because we're not going to be using the stock ones. Now V10A push rod, we're going to need 2 per cylinder is 20 per engine, so we're going to need 40 of them. Same thing with the rocker arms. For oil V10, we're going to need 2 of these, 2 of those. We're going to need piston rings, 20 of these, and then crankshaft bearing caps, we're going to need 8 of these because there's 4 per engine. And then we're going to need 20 of these. We should go buy our pistons too. So 20 of those, because these are V10 engines. Okay, engine head V10B, A and B. We're going to need 4 of that, 2 each of those. And then we'll need 2 camshaft V10A. Probably going to need more of these rollers and such. Let's go ahead and get there were 2 roller Bs, so we're going to go ahead and buy 4 of them. And then the pulleys, go ahead and buy 2 of these, and then 2 of the V10A water pump pulley. Okay, V10A timing chain, V10A serpentine belt. I think I'm going to need a belt tensioner as well, so I'll get a couple of them. What does that take us to? The timing cover. I need 2 of these cam gears. The water pump and the timing cover are potentially repairable. So we just need to go ahead and buy the water pump. May just go ahead and buy 2 of them anyway. Okay, we bought our pistons and rings already, so this stuff is just trash. I kind of think the game should have an animation for throwing things directly into the trash. That leaves us with the crankshaft and the block. No. Okay. Oh, I bought the wrong crankshaft, damn it. It's the Porsche one for the Porsche Carrera GT. Clearly wrong here. knew there was another roller involved in this somewhere. Maybe I don't need the belt tensioner. Oh well, it's always good to have them. Oh yeah, let's get that. I thought I bought it. I guess I didn't. Doing it from this side is a bit more fiddly than I want. And since I have been buying everything times 2, the other engine should go together even faster. Although, I may need to buy things like the timing cover. I don't think the other engine had anything but the crankshaft and the block in it. So I may have to buy like another timing cover and whatnot for it. I'm not going to do both engines right now though. I have a feeling that this is running long. Gonna need to buy the intake manifolds and exhaust manifolds. Yep. V10B, V10A. I think it's only one throttle for that. I have to look. Yeah, it is one. Throttle V8 even. Need fuel, or is it fuel? Is it V10B fuel rail? Let's get that. Oh, I jumped too far out. Okay, and this is, well, actually, There. Now this is the part I've been kind of putting off. I always end up doing these things last because they're just tedious. I'm going to need to get the head covers. A V10 overhead valve engine with 20 freaking rocker arms to bolt in. Get carpal tunnel just thinking about it. Engine head cover V10B. I think I only bought one of each of those. I should have bought two of each. And I think this will do it here. Yep, that engine is ready to go. Stick the other one up here now. Oh, there's more to it than I thought. Okay, good. Gonna need to buy starters too. I've been thinking about that. That should make this 100%. Yep, totally good to go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and dyno it. Oh, let's paint it. Yes, we'll definitely stick with this color. And now we can test it. This gives me an opportunity to use the side door. I like never use that door. So 517's got to be 800 at least. $798. Just a hair under what I thought it would be. this one there. Okay, so this one unpainted with no engine, 109,000. This one 100% complete, and it is very pretty. I'm not a truck guy, but I like it a lot. It is $269,000. So 269 versus what was it? 109. It's like $160,000 difference with an engine in it, basically. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here, since I know this has probably been a long episode. So I will go ahead and finish the black one, and then I'll sell them both so that everybody can see how much they're worth, and then we will go back on our quest of finding the Mercedes SLS. So, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again for our next junkyard adventure. So on that note, bye for now.